Assalamu alaikum. My name is Marvin, and right now I'm one of the area Muslim chaplains for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and I work what is called Region 3, and I get the opportunity to meet a lot of folks that y'all met previously, you know. But I want to say something about community, and I also want to say something about law enforcement. Sometimes we look at people and we don't know, where they come from or what they do. Law enforcement is special to me. I have a son in Memphis, and he's a police officer. I have a nephew, his name is Khalif, and he's in the Dallas area. He's a police officer. And I have a brother-in-law who lives in the San Diego area, and he's a federal police officer. So sometimes when it comes up about the argument sometimes about Black Life Matters and Blue Life Matters, I'm not confused at all. Because as a Muslim, and this is what we're trying to do here, all life is sacred. All life is sacred. And the enemy, and this is what I tell people sometimes, who you gonna call? You ain't gonna call Ghostbusters. When someone comes and come knocking at your door wanting to do something to you, the chances are if you don't have enough relatives, you're gonna call the police. So thank y'all for being here, and thank you also. You don't know how significant this is right here, the number of you here, and I'm not gonna say a whole lot, but also please understand the significance of having a mosque on Hirsch Road and a mosque here in Fifth Ward, and understand how America's growing and how America's changing and how America's changing for the better. We just don't see a lot of the good, we see a lot of the bad. But in our hearts, we know what's happening. So our struggle is to be consistent, is to be right, and no matter what happens, stand up for truth. The gentleman, the chess teacher, he mentioned time, and I want to tell him that in Islam, there's three things. There's a chapter called Wal Asr, which is a token of time. It's three things that it talks about. It talks about time, it talks about patience, and it talks about truth. If we can take those three tools that God has given us and go to work to reestablish the family, go to work to reestablish economy, to go to work and begin to practice to communicate with one another. See, it's not communicating that's the problem. We don't practice communicating with one another. In other words, to put it in Fifth Ward language, we don't know how to talk to one another. We don't know how to talk to anybody. But we have to practice those things. So if we stand on truth, and we're patient, and we realize that we're here for a certain time, and it's going to take time to develop things, then we got a chance. So as it was said earlier, it's about time for Asa prayer. So, so I'm going to stop right now and thank you. And I owe you one, Yusuf. Assalamu alaikum.